Namaste and welcome to Dragonfly Cookery and Knives. I'm very excited this evening to introduce to you a new cookery that was a project that Neem, Tenji and I collaborated on together. I drew up some designs this year during the COVID shutdown period and gave them to my commies, and I wanted it to kind of be a 2020 theme, not knowing that we're going to be in the kind of challenging year that we have turned out to be experiencing. But it was actually, I was doing these designs when I was recuperating from my foot surgery earlier in the year. And unfortunately during that time we ended up with the COVID pandemic, and so I had even more time on my hands to try to stay busy. Well, this year I decided that in the theme of what I wanted to do is I really love Sirupate style design cookeries, and the more that I use them, the more that I really like them. And so I thought I would do a couple different Sirupate designs and try to put a Western handle on them, for one, Western style of handle, with good ergonomics in mind. Something that would be very comfortable to the hand to use. And it's not that I have anything against the traditional Sirupates or the traditional handle designs. I find them to be extremely comfortable and extremely ergonomic. However, a lot of times I will encounter kami that have tried to incorporate Western style handles onto their traditional blades of cookery, and sometimes not to the best success. A lot of times they're either like broom handles, they're very bulky, very rounded, and sometimes they're just downright uncomfortable to use. Especially when you downsize a knife and you're trying to, or where they've been trying to create a smaller knife, but a larger knife than what a carta would be. Like, you know, a small companion knife that would appeal to Westerners. A lot of times they, you know, it still has a really bulky handle even though it has a short blade, and it's definitely something that you're not going to want to carry on your side every day unless that was the only knife you had available. There are so many small knives and good EDC knives out there being made by production companies that are affordable and made with good material and are very user-friendly. So if you're going to provide a product for that, you really need to step up to the plate and at least be able to match the comfort level, the design and everything, where the design follows the form follows function on it. So, and the philosophy of use. So with that, I want to take that concept and marry that in with the traditional Sirupate style cookery. Now, if you guys remember one of my former videos that I did maybe about a month ago, where I introduced the Americana and its little amigo as a Sirupate style cookery with a Western style handle, kind of a unique but still traditional scabbard system with a sheath system for the little EDC knife, which was the little amigo. Barun Borelli was one who built it. He and I worked together on this project, and I think he did a fantastic job, really knocked it out of the ballpark. Just a fantastic knife. Well, I also gave a very similar project to Neem Tenji with a Sirupate style. This time the Sirupate would be a Dui Chirra, so it had some fullers in it to lighten the blade. Nice slender blade, but a long blade length of about 14 inches, and then to provide it with a handle that could be could allow for people with very large hands to very small hands. They could use it and use it very comfortably. It would give you a two-handed use option. It would give you room to move around on the handle to get extended leverage if need be. So I wanted something, but the chief objective in the handle design was that even though it's this large style handle, it would be very comfortable in the hand no matter where you're orientating it in your positions and use. So with that being said, what I did is I presented to Neem this design, and I'm going to try to bring it up to where you guys can see it a little better, hopefully. And this was the cookery that it was Sirupate style with the Dui Chirras and a deeper and wider fuller line up at the spine, almost could be considered a real chirra, so it could even be a tri or a tin chirra style Sirupate with a Western style ergonomic handle, and then with a little EDC knife that has a good curve to it that will allow for slicing, and a very comfortable handle, semi-pistol style, where it would come down and really fit in your hand very well and very comfortably. Then along with that, I introduced the scabbard system that I wanted to design. Now the goal of the scabbard system is I wanted it to be a traditional style scabbard that could be made ambidextrous, which would allow for the left-handed users and right-handed users to be able to carry this system just by taking it out of the frog and reorientating it in the frog and positioning it on their belt. The other thing I wanted to do, which was different than I did with the Americana, is I decided that I wanted to have the pouch style sheath for the companion knife to be able to be taken out of the frog and being carried separately on your belt. So it would have a little belt loop on the back of it that you could slide in and carry it as a real EDC. So in other words, you don't even have to have the frog system on your belt. You just take out this little scabbard, put it on your belt, have your EDC with you for the rest of the day when you're at camp. And if you want to take it on a day hike, you don't want to carry the larger blade, but you want a small, good, useful knife to carry with you, that allows you to do that with this system. So with those two concepts, I shared them with Neem, and we put our heads together and started to put together this project. So let me introduce to you the Sequoia Dui Chirra Sirupate with its companion little EDC knife, the little Sequoia. The workmanship on the leather scabbard is exquisite. It's excellent, outstanding. You have the traditional leather over wood, and it is a very good quality, most likely buffalo hide, or it could even be yak leather, but it's not that crispy vellum-like leather. This is actually a very good high quality leather that he has stretched over the scabbard, stitched on one side on the cutting edge side, which accommodates, and the ribbing all the way around on the back and the front of the scabbard, which allows you, when you just slide it out, you could change the orientation in the frog and carry it left-handed or right-handed. Then the other part is it has a little button that helps fasten it to the frog and hold it in place in the frog securely. But by pushing it up, you can take it out, and you have a nice little belt loop right here on the back, and you can fix this on your belt, and now you have a nice little EDC knife that you can carry with you all day long. And you could carry this independently from this system altogether and just use this, or you can use it as a kit system like we designed it. This being a pouch style of sheath also allows you to change the orientation of the blade. It'll carry it left-handed or right-handed. So this is a true ambidextrous system that works really, really well, made out of very good, excellent, high-quality buffalo hide leather. Very thick welts on the side, so you don't have any fear of this blade cutting through and start cutting away the stitching and end up having a little sheet that isn't going to work for you. So it's very, very well done, very well made, very sturdy. And Neem put his little signature shape on it that has the beautiful Celtic knots on it, but is also highly functional, and it'll protect the tip. When you're carrying something like this out in the field, this tip could easily get banged on, and this will be the area where that will start having the greatest amount of stress and damage to. So this will definitely, not only does it look nice and it's pretty, but it also is highly functional. Now let's get into what the blades look like. Here is the Sequoia Dui Chirra Sirupate. Has a nice long 14-inch blade, Dui Chirra, with a fuller line up at the top that's rather deep and even could work as a chirra. So in truth, you could call this a Dui Chirra Sirupate. 2-inch wide belly, has a very long, large sweet spot for cutting and chopping. So this will definitely split firewood and build shelters. And when you're going through, you're hiking on a trail and you got a lot of overgrowth, you could definitely clear the trail. You could also cut away a fire lane for when you're out there hunting. Instead of the chirra, we put the finger choil, which allows you to choke up and get some good purchase on this to allow you to do fine detailed whittling. Not that you would really necessarily need to because you have the companion knife, but this gives you a tremendous amount of control. This could be your one knife if you had to use it this alone. Just excellent and outstanding, very light. The balance is right where it should be. Show you the balance here on this. Let me get it on the nail if I can see it. And there you go. It's very well balanced. It's dancing a little bit there for you. As you can see, the balance is excellent, excellent. Which gives this a great feel in the hand. When you're using this, it's light and fast. It would be good for martial artists as well as it is military. It's not a terribly heavy blade. For something that is 20 inches overall with a 6-inch handle and 14-inch blade, you would expect this to weigh maybe about 700 grams, and in truth it only weighs 569 grams. Very, very light, very good. Now the handle, it's made out of Indian rosewood, hardwood handle, 3-rivet system with a lanyard hole that's a very generous, good size lanyard hole at the back. You have a bird beak style pommel with a nice generous belly and a integrated finger guard, so your hand's not going to slide up on the cutting edge. Slight little swell on the sides that allows it to have a really user-friendly, ergonomic feel to this handle. You're not going to create hot spots in use of it. Yet it's not so rounded to where it's going to roll in your hand when you're striking things. It really allows it to be very useful and very user-friendly and very functional as a handle. There's a slight little drop here towards the blade which allows for a pinch hold. If you are going to need to process a very large game like a moose or an elk, you could actually use this to get in there and do some processing of the game. You could definitely quarter it up with this. It's a great chopper. It'll get through a lot of the joints and bone without damaging the blade. Very, very user-friendly. Like I said, it allows you, gives you a lot of purchase room for your hand. You can choke all the way back for that extended leverage, and with this bird beak pommel, it locks it in to where it's not going to fly out of your hand. And with that lanyard hole, if you're using this for an extended period of time where your hand might get fatigued, definitely that lanyard hole and wearing a lanyard would give you that added security and safety. It even will allow you to use a two-handed strike if you need to really add to the already incorporated physics of this blade. that is facilitates excellent chopping abilities. So, so this is an outstanding, very well made and very functional cookery. Now with a little EDC knife, slight pistol grip style handle, so it does curve very nicely in the palm, gives a really good and comfortable feel, and yet locks it in there with this little integrated finger guard. Your hand's not going to come up to the cutting edge and slide up on it. The balance point is right where it needs to be, which is right there, just a little bit in front of that finger guard. And it's a very well balanced, very comfortable knife. And it's also not too thick on the sides here, and not too rounded. It's rounded up at the spine and towards the fingers, which gives it a good, comfortable feel in the hand. It's not going to create hot spots, but yet this thing is definitely not going to roll. You're going to have excellent control with it. And you can index it very, very well for your slicing, for skinning, processing your food during the campsite. There's a lot of benefits in what you can use. Slight drop point tip, which as you know I like. Anything you can slide under and be able to get that good cutting ability without harming or damaging. Like if you're needing to get in between something like cloth and a cord or stitching or something, you could do it without puncturing holes where you don't want those holes to be. So it's very, very good, but yet you have this really nice, generous curve that's perfect for slicing and for skinning. 90-degree spine on the top. You could throw some sparks off a ferro rod, a saber grind with a convex edge, with also a little lanyard hole in it if you needed it. You know, particularly for a pinky lanyard. You know, if you want to get back, chuck back on this, you could even do some light chopping with it. So very good, useful EDC knife. This is very comfortable. I really, really like how this came out. I'm very, very pleased with the job that Neem Tenji did. This will soon be available on our website. I'm sorry I don't have it added just yet. If you want to know more information about this cookery and this system, please feel free to message me on Blue Dragonfly Training Post on Facebook. I'll be very quick at answering it and giving you any information you want to know about it. Also, you can ask any questions or leave your comments on my YouTube channel. And please like and subscribe. I appreciate it so much, and the comments that you give, I really appreciate reading them, and I try to answer them as quickly as I can. And by all means, visit my website, look for this. You're going to find it as the Sequoia, Sirupate, and Little Sequoia. Soon to be added, probably in the next couple days it'll be available. I hope you like this video, and I'm sure you're going to love this cookery. It's an awesome package. It will definitely serve in a multiplicity of purposes, but absolutely for sure. If you're a guy like me, I usually carry 2 to 3 knives with me. This would definitely be this set that I would carry. I'd carry these 2 and maybe a pocket knife, and that's it, and I'm good to go. So all you need in this one package. Great for left-handers and right-handers. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste. God bless.